Hey everybody, this is Devin the Romantic Traveler again. So here we are, and I think we're on episode 9. Welcome, whether you're seeing us live or if you found us by happenstance, welcome. In case you don't know, if you're a regular viewer, you may find that my voice is an octave lower. Stuck with a head cold. I guess 'tis the season. It's 90 degrees outside. It's winter. And here we are today. Anyway, another episode dealing with love and happiness and how to find it, and Kabbalah and travel and exploration of the self and all kinds of good stuff. We're focusing on love today, as always. Is our chief and primary focus about how to have more of it, how to promote it in your life, and sort of like the larger global universe all come together and happiness and harmony. Yep, I know it's a big obstacle for most of us, but we're going to march ahead anyway. So today's episode is about online dating. I have recently been speaking to a number of people who are like, I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. I can't believe it. It's demeaning. It's insulting. It's time consuming and it's confusing. And why would I do it? Well, let me tell you, I have done online dating since its inception, at least when I was single. And to be quite frank with you, I had all the same misconceptions that you did, the same feelings about it as you do, and kind of hated it. It is a little bit like when you look at it in the very most basic thing, it's kind of weird and a little bit creepy and up to strangers, and I understand that. But here was what I did. And by the way, if you don't know, I have been married because of online dating. I am happily married because of online dating. But it wasn't like that. Wasn't really the plan. I used online dating and have used it in the past as not so much as I'm expecting great, wonderful things to come from it as a result of doing it, but really it's a great way to set an intention. If you are new here, we talk a lot about setting intention, that there's an organization to the universe, that we overcome our problems by taking small actions and allowing new doors to open up and then walking through those doors. So for me, online dating was definitely not like I had an expectation of finding Susie 39624 to be the perfect woman of my dreams, and that I would be able to figure this out from some sort of an online profile and a photograph of Susie cut in half with her arm around some distant guy in the background. No, the opposite's true. I actually did online dating so much more about it gives me an opportunity to tell the universe that I'm free, available, and looking for love. And it allowed me to write about what that love would look like, and what I hope to get that love, and what I would be able to provide a relationship and a partnership moving forward. So what I would do is go online to date, and then invariably somebody would fall from the sky, from some other place. And then I could take myself off of online dating. That said, I met some pretty great people, some wonderful women, but I never expected much of it. What invariably happened with Morgana and I is that, once I became single and I put myself back online, I wrote the truth. I wrote what I was looking for. I wrote what I was hoping to find in a partner, and I wrote about what I hoped a relationship would look like in the future, and then expected nothing more. Like, I went on a handful of dates. It was great, whatever, but it wasn't what I would expected to find somebody from love. That said, it totally worked out for me. Matter of fact, I don't even think about it anymore because Morgana's been in my life so long that I don't really worry about whether or not we started out as an online couple, but that's exactly what happened. I mean, other than seeing some photographs, we met in a local restaurant. We hung around for 6 hours. We talked about a whole lot of things under the sun, and we saw each other a second time. Obviously, it worked. I know what you're saying at home, that, well, I've had some bad experiences. I understand that. I did too. But the good news about that is that the manifestation of the relationship I have with Morgana totally outweighs whatever dud relationships I've had or dud experiences I've had through online dating. So if you are single, I recommend that you try it. I recommend that you try a online dating thing that will allow you to write a letter to the universe. And when I say letter to the universe, they would describe it as a profile. But really what you're doing is and by the way, this is before I talk about that letter to the universe, what most people end up doing online is and this is a little bit truer for women, is women tend to write about what they want from a relationship. They want a guy who's going to fix my car and make me a cake and do 50 jumping jacks for me, and won't that be great? But they don't necessarily talk about the relationship and what the relationship looks like in the future and how they're going to find happiness together. I think those are really important things. For men tend to write about things that are more about, I've done these 12 things because I'm looking to impress you. And they too forget about what they're looking to get from a relationship and what they look to bring to the relationship. Accomplishments are great. Knowing what you want is great, but it doesn't necessarily give the person reading your profile a fuller picture. And by the way, when you get somewhat serious on a profile, you're doing two things. You are telling yourself and the universe what it is that you want, which allows you to set an intention for love. And two, all the duds are going to read this and want to stay away, so they're probably not going to contact you. So I would consider looking for online dating as a opportunity to tell the universe what you're that way. It's worked for me, and it's worked for loads and loads of other people. And even if nothing else, somebody else falls from the sky, then your intention worked. So think about it. Even if you go online just to set the intention and never date, totally thumbs up. I think it's, for many people, it's about opening a door that they don't try or experience. So a slight shift in perception, as my friend Pat frequently says, leads to great change. So think about that. And then we have this week's question. This week's question comes from Elsira, who writes, why, if the relationship is wonderful, why don't men commit and then suddenly leave? Well, Elsira, thank you for your question, and it's much appreciated. But what I would consider this is that relationships may seem wonderful only from your perspective. What that means is that you may want to be really conscious about what you're bringing to the relationship and what your partner is getting out of the relationship. The question that I recommend that you start asking yourself and perhaps your partner is, how can I help you? What do you need? Because if you're not answering that, or if you're not asking that question of yourself and your partner, then you may not know. It may be wonderful for you. He may or she may be providing you precisely what you want from a relationship. But if you don't know what you're providing the other person, it may be hunky-dory for you, but the other person may be feeling used, or their needs are not met. And those are those very kinds of things that the relationship may have every possibility and wonderfulness in the world, but it has to be a two-way street. There has to be give and take on both sides, and that's why relationships work. So it's not about just what feeds you, but how you're feeding the other person. So I would always suggest being a little bit more conscious in the relationship, so you know that it's wonderful, not just for one side, but for both sides. Anyway, I think that's what I got for today. And by the way, we're cutting it short a little bit today, only because Google Hangouts, when I went through my normally page, I went through my normal link, so I apologize to the folks that clicked on it and got some weird or no response. Google changed its format for some reason, so I had to go through different things, so the original links that I had didn't work, and so at the very last second I had to create a new program. So anyway, here we are. I hope you love the replay. For those of you who made it in time, congratulations. Good to see you. And looking forward to seeing you all next week. And keep your questions coming. And thanks again. Bye.